Hey, welcome to the Ads with the Twang podcast. I'm your host, Ben Blackman, and on this episode, let's have just a little bit of a reality check to what happens if you don't run ads. Here comes episode 114. The Ads with the Twang podcast is dedicated to helping you create simple ads and smart strategies to grow your online business. Get ready, because you're going to love this. Okay, let's get right into it. So if you're not running ads and you're not planning on running ads, then what is your plan? Do you actually have a plan? Or is it just, no, I'm not going to run ads? Because if that's the case, I'm a little concerned for you. It's not that I'm an advocate of going out and just spending money indiscriminately, right? And a lot of people don't get good results with ads. But the people who do, they're the ones that have a lot more sustainable business. I'm just here to tell you, even if you're new, even if you're brand new into coaching or course creation or whatever it is, running ads should be part of your plan sooner rather than later. Now, I get it. A lot of business coaches and stuff like that, they don't think that you should because they don't want you spending the money. And I get that. I really do. And like I said, I'm not an advocate of just blowing money. That's not a smart plan. But what's also not a smart plan is not gaining that experience. Now, if you go back to episode, I think it's 109, you'll find out that I talk about running ads every day. And I think that people should. They should run ads every day. It's not just about the leads. That's the big part of it. But it's also about getting the experience. So, again, I'm back to the question. If you're not going to run ads, what are you doing? Are you counting solely on organic? Solely on referrals? What's your plan there? And that's what you really need to get squared away in your mind. So and I've told this story a million times, but I had a business where I relied solely on one type of marketing. It was direct mail, and I got tons of leads every day, just leads and leads and leads. It was great. And then one day, literally one day, it was over, done, taken away. Couldn't do it again. At least not in the way we were doing it. Didn't work. That can happen. And that's what I'm saying. So too many things can happen. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to give you a little bit of a reality check. Say, hey, if you've got an Instagram account and you've got all these followers and you're getting all these people organically, what happens if that account gets shut down? Because it can. For no reason. They don't even have to give you a reason. They just do what they want to do. So that's a little bit scary. So if you don't have another way to get people in, what are you going to do? And ironically, there's a client that I had, and she's amazing client, has a $1 or $2 million business. They're doing great, but it's all organic. And she couldn't see the benefit of the ads, right? Because the return on ads, because it's a dollar figure, right? When you're doing organic, you don't see the dollar figure if you're not getting a good enough return because it's all measured in time, not money. Well, with ads, you can see the dollar figure, and so people get worried about that when they start seeing that, or the return on ad spends 3x instead of 10x, or something crazy like that because they think that they should be there, and that's not how it works at all. So I really want to encourage you to think about how you could be running ads. I want to talk a little bit more about that in just a second, but first, listen, please subscribe. I would love that. It would be great. I appreciate you being here, but I would love it if you subscribed, okay? And I'm not gonna, on the main YouTube channel, which you may be watching this on that right now, but on YouTube, I'm gonna do more tutorials and stuff and walkthroughs. There's not a lot posted up there just yet, but there will be. So I have a lot of stuff planned, and I'd love to see you doing that, or see you as a subscriber doing that. That's funny. All right. So let's kind of get back into it. So let's talk about organic just a little bit more. I want you to think about how much time and effort you put into planning your organic content, okay? And think about that, because every minute of your time, every hour of your day, right, that has a dollar figure attached to it, a dollar that you're not making. And when you're doing organic, you're not leveraging your money. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to beat you over the head with you got to do ads. You don't have to do anything. But I'm just trying to give you some encouragement to say, hey, it is okay to do ads. So have you really thought about how many posts or comments or DMs it takes to get a sale? Like, how much time are you really putting into that? And you want to keep track of that, just like you want to keep track of your money. And what about consistency? It's hard to do that with just organic. In other words, if you're generating clients, that's great, but it's hard to have consistency without putting ads in the mix as well. And I get it. There's this whole thing about the learning curve, but the learning curve is going to be there. So it's better to get started on the learning curve now than later, right? Again, I want to refer you back to the why you should be running ads every day and the whole this $5 a day method. So the best thing you could do, and I'm going to show you this. So if you're on YouTube, you'll see this, but if you're listening to the podcast, you'll have to go to check it out on YouTube. But I just kind of want to show you this. So that's not it. That's not it. That's it. There we go. All right. For those listening, I hit the wrong buttons as usual. Okay. So let's talk about $5 a day. So let's just say that you're going to spend $5 a day on ads. No more, no less. You've committed to it. You've set the money aside. You're not taking grocery money away. You're not going to be in dire straits because you're spending $5 a day. But what you are going to do is you're going to learn how ads work, and you're going to build an audience. So the worst case scenario, if you spend $5 a day, is you're going to spend roughly $825. Okay. And maybe you get 1 to 2 leads a day. Now, that largely depends on what niche you're in. So some niches you could get more and some less. But I'm just kind of ballparking it for everybody. And I want to set realistic expectations. I'm not a fan of this stinking pie in the sky stuff out there that I see all the time, and you do too. So let's just be real with this. So if you get 1 or 2 leads a day, and if you can convert 1 to 2%, okay, somewhere between 1 to 2% of those leads into clients, right? So essentially you got 365 leads. Well, my handwriting for those listening, it's terrible, but I can't do anything about that. So you got 365 leads, 1 to 2%, then you're going to get between 3 to 7 new clients. It doesn't mean you're going to get them all right away, okay? That's not what that means. It just means that you're going to be getting them over time. And so that's pretty good. Or, by the way, if you're doing course sales, you should be able to convert better than that, right? You should be able to get somewhere between, probably about 15 to maybe 20 course sales. Somewhere in that neighborhood. So if you're doing it right, you're collecting the leads, you're following up with them, and you're converting them. And then plus, what you're going to learn, it's going to be worth 10 times what you spent easy. Because when it comes time for you to go hire somebody like me or whoever it is, right, you're going to be able to know what they're talking about, have suggestions for them. And I'm telling you, the best relationships with people who run ads that you can have is when you can be collaborative on it and not just be like, I don't know what they're talking about, because that happens a lot. Like I have clients who they have no idea what I'm talking about because they've never looked at their ad metrics and don't know anything about it. And it's not that they don't do well, it's just they would do better if they knew, because they could offer more helpful suggestions that would help me turn more of their their leads into clients. Because I could target better, I could do copywriting better, I could do everything better. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. And another thing is you might just like it. You might end up being like, hey, this is kind of fun. I kind of like looking at these metrics, kind of like doing it. Just don't fall into the rabbit hole of thinking that's your primary job. Because at some point you don't need to be doing ads anymore. Like you just need to worry about running your business and somebody else needs to be doing your ads. Okay, remember what I always say, and I'm not going to show the coffee cup this time that says it on it, but I say no to ad drama, just do the math. That's it. It's just drama and math. Just do the math, and you'll be just fine. All right, if you've been trying to create, this is a little pitch. You don't mind my pitch at the end, do you? Okay, good. If you've been trying to create the perfect lead magnet, and by the way, I'm really excited about this because I just literally put out my brand new Lead Magnet Mastery course, the 1K system. So what I'm doing with it is I'm teaching you in less than an hour how to build an awesome lead magnet that attracts quality leads and how to turn those into your first 1K or your next 1K or 10K, or it doesn't really matter. You can do whatever you want with it. So check that out. I'll put a link below, and that's it. All right, I'll catch you all on episode 115. Thanks for listening to the Ads with the Twang podcast. If you get a second, jump on over to my YouTube channel, Marketing with the Twang, and subscribe. You'll get all kinds of no BS business building help there. I'll see you next time.